All right. What is up, YouTube? My name is Alex. Welcome back to the Lifting Nomad. Seen a lot of videos lately talking about what people are eating, how they're dieting, what their nutrition protocol looks like to maintain a pretty decent physique throughout the year. So I wanted to say, and kind of show what I've been eating and what I typically eat. My diet doesn't really vary that much, whether I'm bulking or cutting or where I am. I eat a lot of the same foods. It's mostly just the quantity of it that varies. So with that being said, I'm gonna go through my typical day of eating, recipes, all food scale measured out, calories, carbs, proteins, and fats for the whole day. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, cool. So I thought kind of an interesting way to do this is I've gone ahead and prepped a day's worth of my cooking and eating my meals, and then I'm gonna watch them and give you my commentary of what's going on and explain kind of the scenario for each. So let's get into it. Cool, so this is meal number one. Very typical pre-workout meal for me. Oats, protein powder, peanut butter powder, frozen fruit. Have it almost every single day, and it really lets me kind of get going for the day in a good direction where I'm able to, carb up before the gym and then get everything going there. Not really too sure what Cool, so here you go, the measurements for it. So 60 grams of oats, 1 scoop of protein powder, 140 grams of frozen fruit, 15 grams of powdered peanut butter, 15 grams of light whipped cream. You'll see I'm adding salt in there as well. It really helps with pump dilation and just, I think like you don't get enough salt in your typical diet. So I mix it all together there, and then I stir it with some sugar-free or unsweetened almond milk. Once it's more of like kind of looks like cereal, honestly. At that point, that's when I add in the fruit on top. And you'll see I don't food scale the fruit. I've done this so many times that I know more or less, and most of your calories aren't coming from fruit anyways. So ends up being around 140, microwave it for a couple minutes till the fruit's melted. Then I stir it all back together again. That's when I put my toppings on it. So this is coconut whipped cream, actually pretty good and a little less calories than even the light whipped cream that you can get in the grocery store. So a pretty good alternative to have. Put that right on top. It's actually very few calories. And then the powdered peanut butter has a lot of calories in it, so that I do measure every single time. And I do 15 grams there on the scale, and then that's what you get. So that is my pre-workout oats. Have that almost every single day before the gym in the mornings. So calories for that, 511 calories, 69 grams of carbs, 9 grams of fat, and 43 grams of protein. Now that is a pretty good macro-friendly meal to have before the gym. Gets me carb loaded, a lot of protein to start the day, and it really is filling as well. It tastes great. It's something I have almost every single day. Meal number two is these air-fried sort of like grilled cheese sandwiches, stuffed grilled cheese sandwiches, let's say. So they're, again, something I have almost every single day. Really easy to make. If you don't have a air fryer, you can use just obviously a frying pan or the oven. You can really make it no matter what sort of kitchen you're working in. Again, really macro friendly, tons of protein, lots of carbs to get you energized throughout the day, and it really just tastes great. It reminds me of my childhood. My mom used to make me these things called cheese dreams, and this is really just a riff on that. So recipe here, two slices of low-cal bread, 15 grams of marinara sauce, 2 slices of fat-free cheese, 2 cubes of the Laughing Cow Light, 10 slices of turkey pepperoni, and then 30 grams of fat-free mozzarella on top. So this is how I prepare it. I like to kind of stuff it with the cheese in the middle, flatten it down on top, and then I put you'll see I put the turkey pepperoni on top, and then the mozzarella on top of that. So that way when you put it in the oven or in the frying pan, however you're cooking this, it really crunches up the top. I think probably the way this is done with like a stacked sort of approach, you'd probably want to do it in the oven. If you're doing it in the frying pan, you likely can't put all this on top, just because the way, obviously you're cooking from the bottom versus cooking from the top. So I put a little bit of parsley seasoning and some Montreal steak spice on top that I find is really, really tasty as well. So once that's kind of all assembled, I've got these little liners, put it in the air fryer. I typically do like 360 or 375 for 5 to 10 minutes. It seems like these air fryers are different each one, so I would just try it a couple times yourself, but that's what you want it to look like when it comes out. That's gonna make sure that the cheese inside is melted, it's crunchy on top, it's delicious. One of my favorite meals all time that I've come up with. For that, 450 calories, 53 grams of carbs, 13 grams of fat, 34 grams of protein. Really, really macro friendly, tastes great. This is kind of a riff off of, like I said, the cheese dreams that I grew up with from my mom, as well as Greg Doucette kind of has a variation of this as well with like stuffed burger buns. I think it's just something you really can't go wrong with. Really, you can make it super easily. I don't like to spend a ton of time cooking. I do like to cook every single day and most of my meals, but I don't want to be in the kitchen 24/7. So I was pretty hungry in the afternoon and I had another snack here. This is 4 rice cakes, and this spread is something I make myself. So in there is just 2 scoops of protein powder, typically like 300 or so grams of frozen fruit, and then Jello mix. So what I do is I defrost the fruit a little bit in the microwave, mix in the Jello mix and the protein powder and a little bit of that unsweetened almond milk, blend it all together, and then I put that back in the fridge, and it makes it kind of this jam texture, as you can see there, that lets you spread it really, really easily. This tastes amazing. Super, super filling for like a mid-afternoon snack, or if you want to have it for like dessert after dinner, if you're still hungry and you want something sweet to hit that spot. I ballparked the protein in this because, like I said, I make this jam myself, so it's kind of hard to tell, but 2 full scoops, and that'll last me like a week's worth. So the whole thing is maybe, 300 calories. So I've said like 50 calories for that portion. Meal 3 or 4, I don't even remember what I'm on, was meal prep. So 500 grams extra lean ground beef, 2 eggs, 2 packs of Uncle Ben's rice, a full pack of mushrooms, 3 onions, and some yellow and orange peppers in there, topped with green onions. This was something I meal prepped earlier in the week. I typically try and meal prep like my dinners or my lunches. That full portion was 493 calories, 40 grams of carbs, 20 grams of fat, 37 grams of protein. So obviously a little bit more fat in that because of the ground beef. Even if it's extra lean, just beef typically has a lot more fat than like chicken or turkey. But yeah, it was something really good. I try to meal prep like 1 meal a day. That way I'm not always in the kitchen cooking everything. I used to try and do like 3 meals a day meal prepped, but I like the variety of changing up what I'm cooking, and I also like to cook. It's fun for me, so. My final meal of the day was this sort of salad, Greek yogurt. The dressing is right there, 25 milligrams of soy sauce, 25 milligrams of sugar-free maple syrup. In the salad, 3 whole tomatoes, 1 whole cucumber, topped with green onions, and then 125 grams of a shredded chicken package. We have these like barbecue shredded chicken packs here in Canada, so that's what I used. I used half of it on top at the end here. And this is like a really, really filling, low-calorie dinner that I have most nights of the week, honestly. So what I do is just the Greek yogurt there, mix together the soy sauce and the sugar-free maple syrup. I think I put sesame seeds in this one as well. That's a little bit of garlic plus, and then I put sesame seeds on top. So it's kind of like a garlic sesame Asian dressing. It actually tastes really, really good. The Greek yogurt helps it kind of thicken up and make it more of like a mayonnaise style of dressing, which usually tends to stick better to the food that you put in there. So mixing that all up in the bowl to begin with. You can prep this ahead of time. I sometimes do that as well. That way you're not, spending like a minute or 2 minutes every dinner. Then I just, nothing too crazy, cut up a whole cucumber. I slice it into smaller pieces again. Cucumbers are really, really filling, insanely low calories. Like a whole cucumber is like 30 calories. And they're really easy to use. They last like a few days, and they're super cheap. So I've been cooking with cucumbers a lot, just like this, just straight up raw cucumbers into a salad. And it's definitely helped sort of fill that gap for my dinners where I didn't really have anything that I was looking to use. So a really good option if you're looking to kind of change up your normal salad. So I guess I'm showing this whole cucumber cut in case you've never seen a cucumber cut before. Now you have. After that, I just like kind of cut it into smaller pieces and then put it in the bowl. And then I do the same thing with the tomato. I believe I sped this up so you don't have to watch an entire tomato cutting session, which I'm not. Well, if you weren't bored, you may be now. And with this, pretty simple again, and something that I've been eating a lot of because it really fills me up. There's a ton of fiber in most vegetables as well. So this is just a really easy way to finish your day without having something that's like, really heavy to digest. This is really light and just easy to put through, let's say. Yeah, and then I dice that all up, finish with some green onions on top. Really, really simple, delicious. Yeah, one of my go-to dinners. You can obviously meal prep stuff like this ahead of time too, but I think there's something satisfying about like cutting this all up, making a dinner, and then eating it once you're done. So that's the whole salad. And then after that, I put the shredded chicken on top, kind of spread it around. It's actually a fairly good portion for like 170 calories for half the pack, which, you know, tons of protein. It's actually already seasoned as well. So it's like rotisserie shredded chicken, basically. It's actually pretty damn good for what it is. So that whole salad, very, very big portion, very filling. Not many calories in that at the end of the day. So 356 calories, 32 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fat, and 49 grams of protein. So that was the final meal of the day. I tend to have that most times, and I believe I have the total here as well. So my total for that day was 2,000 calories, 229 grams of carbs, 47 grams of fat, and 171 grams of protein. So that's my full day of eating. Tends to not vary too much from that. That's what I eat mostly year round to stay shredded. If I'm dieting, I will cut that down to like 1,800, 1,700. If right now, like I'm in a bit of a weight phase, so I'm in reverse dieting to increase those calories like 100 per week over the next month while I get adjusted to the calories before I get ready for my trip to Argentina. But that's it for the video. Hope this was useful to see like what, you know, normal people eat. It's not all like chicken and rice and boring shit to stay in shape. You can really, you know, I used to think that, I used to believe that. And now I eat like really, really flexibly. I eat some really delicious food. I cook a lot of it myself. And it's not really that expensive as long as you're being intuitive with what you're eating. I mean, expensive relatively. I know the cost of inflation is absurd right now, but it's not like I'm eating like Wagyu or like really a ton of meat. It's a lot of just vegetables and fruit and like oats and stuff like that that's really, really, you know, not too expensive. So hopefully that was useful to see like what people eat to stay shredded, as I wish I had known stuff like this before. If this was good, feel free to leave a comment section below. Let me know what you thought. Anything I should add, anything I should change, any secret recipes you may have, that would be great. Otherwise, my name is Alex. Welcome back to Lifting Nomad. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.